Alright peeps, welcome to a new series of Timberborn. We're gonna be diving in with the Emberpelts on the Broken Bridge Creek MiGly edition. Hard mode, of course. And since we're the fiery Emberpelts, we're gonna name our settlement Ember Creek. Now we need to quickly pause before too many beavers dart out the front of our district centre here. Look at those three bloody tootsies knocking about all mingled together there. I didn't even notice this earlier. Look at the bloody beaver with these schnoz knocking through the knees. But anywho, this is called the Broken Bridge Creek due to the broken bridge and the creek that we've got knocking about here. Fairly self-explanatory. But other than that, we have got a bloody mega map here that we need to deal with. And that is mainly due to the fact that there's a massive, unstable core right here. I mean, what do you mean you can't see it? It's right bloody there. And this unstable core right here is gonna blast off about halfway through Cycle 7. And it is gonna cause mass destruction to our bloody Emberpelts' lovely green bit of grassland over here. And the schnozberries. Oh my god, about the bloody purple blueberries with the Emberpelts. Oh, I love being back. Yeah, now peeps, I didn't want this to be too easy for her. So we've got one big old obstacle in our way of survival here. Well, that and the usual droughts, bad tides, water and food management. So let's get amongst that, shall we? The first thing we're gonna do is plonk down loads of water slurpers all the way along this edge here, including chopping down this tree. So that's our water situation situated. Next, we need to think about our bloody wood situation. And since we have a fancy pants natural stair, I'm absolutely gonna utilise it. Ideally, in a big old loop that lets the beavers have a little bit of a scooter boot. Alright, this is gonna be fun, this like. Then we'll plonk 2 lumberjack flags down there, and a bonus lumberjacker at the bottom of the hill. They should have this forest chopped down in no time. Now going on the other side of the bridge, we've got a massive schnozberry patch, so we need to protect this and get picking. So there's our berry pickers, and I've got heaps of them, so I don't have to worry about building any storage initially. We can just chop and pick until we're heart's content. Ooh, and look at this! We've got a mad little natural overhang bridge that takes us to the wee island. We'll definitely get that connected up once we chop these trees down. And speaking of bloody trees and getting them chopped down, let's make sure we actually mark those trees to be cut down before we end up forgetting. So with our trees marked for cutting, our bloody berries ready for their picking, our water ready to be slurped, the only thing left to do is build a bit of bloody beaver housing. And you know what? Let's incentivise the beavers to get this housing built by building it behind a tree. And then we'll plonk a 1 on top of you, and then we'll start spinning them around, and we'll get them all on top of each other here. And thanks to Bob and Aboot's magic, all of these houses are connected, or at least they will be once this tree's been chopped down. But that's not all we need to do. We need to do one very important thing before we press resume, and that is get some bloody sciencers on the crickety crack here. We're gonna need a lot of science points. So now beavers, maximum priority, at least 2 of those in all of these tree choppers. Now instead of just pressing play like some sort of normal beaver, I'm gonna go ahead and in the first person so I can see all of our beavers coming out. Look at our Emberpelts, look at our bloody charcoal beavers doing here. Oh, and that's right. There's actually a full-on difference, not just visual, between old mate here and old mate here. But before we look into that, we need to get 4 grafters in the district centre. And now, our charcoal beaver has decided they'll want to be a builder and start banging away on some lumberjack flags. Now the main differences between good old Suit Fur here and Mother Pro here is if we have a look at nutrition, you can see Mother Pro has a little bit of apples, then radishes, then tomatoes, whereas Suit Fur doesn't like apples. They have none of it. They got radishes and then bell pepperinos. Now thankfully, if naught else, both were Emberpelts and were charcoal beavers chomp on some radishes. So let's get a bit of radish plantation occurring. And it's looking awfully green around here, isn't it? Now I am well tempted it's going to happen. We're going to relocate the path so we can get the farmhouse right on the bloody aqueduct pillar there. Now that beavers is a maximum priority job. More so than most of these ones, so I'm going to casually pause these for the time being until we get those laddies in. Now having another side by side with our Emberpelt here, they eat tomatoes. And suit for our charcoal beaver eats bell pepperinos, which means we can plant radishes, tomatoes, and bell peppers. However, we need to plant more tomatoes than bell peppers, because there's a lot more bloody Emberpelts than there are charcoal beavers. But that doesn't mean the charcoal beaver shouldn't have plenty of bell peppers, though. It's a fine balancing act. So the central quadrant here is going to be food for all, radishes for every bloody beaver. And then, unfortunately, we're going to have to reroute the path yet again. Thankfully, we hadn't built any of these inventor huts just yet. And since we've got a farmhouse here, I feel like this is a proper waste of some green ground. I mean, just think of all the bloody tomatoes we can grow up here. And then down by the river, because the bell peppers have only got a 1-day drought resistance, is where we're going to plonk in with capsicums. And then as for this wee green area to the other side of the broken bridge, I'm going to continue this line here of tomatoes. And then I'm going to slap radishes either side of it there. So we've got more food for everyone. Or more importantly, just more bloody food. While our beavers are sorting out the water and food situation, speaking of, this needs to be a high priority build, beavers. And we need to have at least one inventor hut knocking about here, so that is another high priority job, beavers. Oh, but you can get you a bit staircase going up here a bit more. Anywho, before we end up forgetting what I was gonna do, let us think about our first drought/bad tide. Now, of course, the bad tide's a wee bit off. Oh, and yes, this is part of the MiGly magic of this map. We have modified some core components, which makes it that bit more challenging. Particularly when you've got some charry, embery beavers knocking about, who do not like getting wet fur. AKA, they do not like it when the river bursts its bloody banks. And since our main creek water sources come from our here, down the big waterfall, and then into our creek, I reckon we need to block off the water as far along this creek as possible before it mixes. And therefore, I'm going to go ahead and say, beavers, would you mind plonking a dam all the way along there? Oh no, that's a bit risky. That's asking for trouble, that. Because if we have ourselves a bit of a zoomy zoom, we are sort of like on the block there, and I think it'll flow off the top and gan upstream. Therefore, we're going to have to scoot this whole thing back one more. And now it is fully out of the range of the water. At least the bad water side of the bloody broken bridge. The good water side might still be an issue. Just like this flooding seems to still be an issue. Is it a case that we just need to slurp up more water? Is that it? Because I'll slurp up more water. Different bloody testers, beavers. And here's an example, peeps, of why I like to make sure we've got loads of gatherer flags. We can pause this, laddie. We've already had a beaver in here, so we'll keep that one paused. This one's got no goods in stock. So let's say ye chuck a wee. Chidris is diving in to be the new berry picker. Oh, that's right. Working hours up to 18. Get back to work for 20 minutes before you clock off again. And don't go anywhere near the riverbanks, you bloody dodgy beavers, because you didn't like it and you're all slow and that. Hey, what's a cupcake today when the Emberpelts are just sprinting across the water? Peeps, I genuinely thought this wasn't going to be an issue, you know. But since it is quite clearly an issue, it just adds a nice layer and level of difficulty to the game, doesn't it? We don't want any of our beavers to accidentally or on purpose get within 1 block of our river here. Now we need to keep an eye on the beaver that dives into this when they clock on, and hopefully they actually like sit at the door and they don't lean over and get their paws all wet in the bloody water there. Oh, look at the baby charcoal beaver passed out in the bloody pepper patch. And we've got a big adult ember pen passed out with them. This is a glorious little place, isn't it, over here? Look at them just slurping it up. Oh, we have some mild floodage going on. I don't think this bit of the natural scenery is enjoying itself too much. And as much as I hate to ruin this, what beavers? Get your horses up, over the bed, and I want to see if you've got a wet fur debuff. Oh, doesn't it look like it? Pimenta, you've got knee wet for to worry about. It's just the dodgy bloody tree choppers that keep running through here, innit? Well, what can we do to avoid that then? And I'm thinking, Reet, do I actually plonk all of these effing dams in here? Or do I save 5 logs per block and gun single high floodgates? And then I could retain the whole brimmage back here. I mean, to do that, we would need a science hut, so maximum priority on that beavers, maximum priority on that beavers. And while we're at it, maximum priority on that as well. Now have yourselves a proper whoosh. Ye shouldn't be sitting on your arse. 3 logs! Read, I have maximum prioritise all of these bloody lumberjack flags. We might even only have 1 builder. Thankfully, it's bloody recharge here. So they're just knocking out some big old gatherer flags to be used at a later date. Whenever we fill up all of these gatherer flags right here. Oh, is the river sorting itself out? Nah, that's just me being hopeful. Oh, and I do like the look of having 2 of these bard lads up and running, especially when we've got some storage. Let's get ye unpaused so you can fill that storage up. Look at all of these thirsty beavers drop off your log and go and slurp from the big storage here. But now, peeps, that's our drought situation sorted. Well, it absolutely isn't, because we've went back on this plan, haven't we? Although looking at how much we have destroyed this woodland here, we have yet to even build a farmhouse or a bloody inventor hut. So I've asked the beavers to build a couple of inventor huts. Hopefully that way we can get, I don't know, maybe a bit of a water wheel knocking about along the side here, followed by a bit of a planker. You never know when one of those might show up and be useful. Oh, we've got a drought! This quickest we could have got it as well. Oh, beavers! Yeah, nah. We need to build all of this stuff. And we have heaps of bloody logs. Any of ye sitting with a full bloody inventory? I can see that yous 3 are our halfway full. So get paused. Become builders. Which there should be 3 of yous. Why is there only 1 builder, beavers? Oh, the farmers are up and running. Fair dinkum. Let's pause a couple more of these. Particularly because we're very likely about to have another job taken straight up by this inventor here. Very important inventor at that. But now we've got one of those, we need all of the water storage beavers and water slurpage. So they're your new maximum priority jobs, not this shite right here. And you know what? We absolutely cannot do this, but let's have ourselves a bit of a speedy up into the beavers planting the radishes, banging in some of these tanks, and slurping up some water. And now that the beavers are all passed out on the deck, I noticed something that we shouldn't do anymore, which is plant crops in the bloody floodplain here. With 2.1 days remaining, we've got some water knocking about in storage. We can slurp it up. We are most likely not going to have any sort of dam knocking about here. And to be honest with you, peeps, I might use this drought upcoming to send our Emberpelts into the forbidden lands of the river to chop down this mighty oak forest here. Now, if we do that during a drought, we do not need this compact water wheel. We need some industry up here. So let's plonk the planker down. Not that one, of course. The one that doesn't cost any science points. And then we get into power, and we get the large power wheel. Get that plonked in. So we're going to need 65 logs just for these 2 here. And if we start chopping down this forest here, we might have enough. Now that does mean we're going to have to get 70 science points on the crack so we can get some stairs down here. And then we'll be able to use our stairs to get, I'm thinking, up this side of the mountain, get up to these big old oaks, and I would love to get some floodgates across the top here. Keep a little bit of water retained up here for a bit of mild waterfall during droughts. And apart from keeping the waterfall up and running, it would also give us an opportunity to get up here and think about a bloody badwater repulsion system. Because I don't think this one's going to be all that easy. I mean, we could open this, send the badwater down here, and then it can't... Oh, the map! Does it come around and bite us in the arse though? No, it doesn't. Because it goes uphill here. Oh, and this is where the other water sources are on the map. The water sources that feed the broken bridge. Oh, I forgot about E. I'm not going to be forgetting about E in about 6 cycles time now, am I? And this is where we have our bad water source that flows both down the broken bridge and off the side of the map here. I'm looking forward to diving into this map proper. As much as I'm a bit scared of the lack of wood at the moment, if we can get beyond that, I reckon we can make a mad old map out of this. Now, as we've got the sun setting here, let's check in on our lovely Emberpelts. Potential bloody charcoal beaver knocking around as well. See how they're coming along with their deforestation task. And this gap here, peeps, although being utterly beautiful with the mixture, does have us thinking about maybe we can do some sort of separation of the bad water, extend our dam down the side here a bit. I mean, that's not episode 1 stuff. I mean, episode 1 is usually just make sure you get any sort of dam at all on the crack. We haven't even managed to do that now, have we? We're still running water out the map. And with 1 day remaining, I've maximum prioritised our big old coal pit to have 4 beavers in it, so we can build all of these tanks and, more importantly, fill them with these slurpers here. And look who we got in the Inventor Hut. We've got Suit Fair, who's enjoying... I honestly don't know what you're enjoying at the moment. Maybe some berries? Oh, do you even eat berries, pal? Surely, because you would have cocked it by now. Even the Emberpelts don't have any berries in their bit nutrition tab here. It must just be purely to sustain the hunger. And with 0.3 days remaining and all of these empty tanks, we're getting up to a 24-hour working day, beavers. And oh no, Tester Bag is sitting on their arse because there's no pines to chop down here. That is not good at all. How many do we have back here? Oh, not that many. Yeah, we are... Do we have enough? I'm going to bring the coal pit grafters down to 2 here, so we can have more beavers chopping down these pines. Because I'm clearly getting all in on this. I'm just hoping that it doesn't bite us in the arse. Oh, and here we go. The 24-hour working day is almost up. You can see the river has dropped and we have a 4-day drought. Let's get the working hour back to 18. We'll slurp up as much of this water as we can before it just pishes. Oh, the map, the bad water's already stopped. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The good water's still trickling down, but that does need help. Oh, what a storage situation. Although the longer the water stays on the aqueduct here, the longer our radishes stay healthy, which we need because, well, you know, they're not ready yet. They're not ready and the water's about to gone away forever, or at least 4 days. Alright, here we go. I'm just gonna sit here on a speed 3. Hopefully it turns into a speedy up it because it takes that long for the water to evaporate. No, it didn't. And now we have a dry map. Except for over here. Are you gonna dry up? Or are there secrets behind the waterfall? Let's have ourselves a bit of a deeks, a bit of a how's it going? Oh, bonus water. Well, I'll have to believe bear this in mind, won't I? Does this irrigate anything over here? That would be a massive negative. But yeah, now we really need to get those extra 2 science points, beavers, so I can unlock these stairs and get ease across this dry riverbed here. because it's only going to be dry for another 3.5 days, so I need ease to get chippity bloody chopping. 26 out of 50. Are we filling up any flags over here? Oi! Stop sitting on your arse. Get shifted hour up there, mate. Oh. Oh, we are stupidly close. Like, stupidly close. Oh, no. Right, do we have any emergencies? What can I do? Right, we can delete buildings in emergencies if it comes to that. Hopefully it doesn't, but, you know, if it does, we have that option. And are there any schnozberries for ye to pick, old pal? It does near look like it. Are there schnozberries over here for them to pick? Yes, there bloody are. But you know, with 36 logs in storage and 25 of them about to gun into this large power wheel, I can only hope that our beavers just get across. Wakey, wakey, exhausted beavers! Now is the chance to do what we couldn't do while we were busy slurping up the water. Oh, and all of our radishes are gonna cork it. Our tomatoes are also gonna cork it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're on the verge of losing our bell pepperinos. Oh no. This is nae good, this, peeps. We've got 2 trees! 2 trees left, peeps, that's it! Just 2 humble trees. Maybe there's some in here? Nah, there's nothing in there. I thought this was maybe a bit of a log, but it's not. It's just a bit of bloody decoration. Oh, 3 trees! We had a tree grow up! Ye could be the saviour of our bloody colony in our pine. But we need 10 logs just for these planks. We need how many more logs in here? Oh no! We might have 3 logs spare, peeps. 3 logs spare when we get over here. That's far too close. And we need to do all of that in the next 2.7 days. Otherwise our beavers are going to be sick of getting wet fur. And we need that wood to build our next contraption over here to keep the water. And I shouldn't have deleted the bloody dams because now I don't know where the water falls. Oh, it's a stressful first drought here in Ember Creek, like. I thought this was gonna be a fun one. It's absolutely nae good. We've got 5 berries. We've got 5 berries! Alright, beavers, turns out these are the maximum priority builds when you get out of the river. And how long have ye been up and running and I haven't had a bloody beaver and you're making planks? What an utter numpty. No! You do not start plonking logs in there. Look, we've got 0 logs now, because you put 12 of them in here. Looks like we're deleting the housing stack. But we can't pick up the logs because we don't have any wood warehousing now, do we? Or do we? Oh, do you use the district centre? Fan-bloody-tastic. Right, that may have just saved us, you know, peeps. Right, we need to make sure everything else is paused. And apparently, we need to build a new lumberjack flag who can see the last of the trees. Alright then, beavers. If you wouldn't mind. Oh, I really want to do a 24-hour working day. But no, we'll let the beavers have a bit of a kip. And then they can get back to grafting. Oh, look, it's Smoketail. What's up, Smoketail? I know there's absolutely nothing for you to eat, but maybe in a couple of days, that situation will have abated. Alright, we're making more planks. We've got 4 builder beavers. They're already over here. They're already banging these in, ready to be populated by maximum priority jobs. The second those bloody stairs doing there get banged in, are we beavers? 2 more planks. And we've got 0 more logs. 2 more planks, peeps. 2 more planks. I bloody called it when I said that this pine would likely end up being the saviour of Ember Creek. And yeah, now we're gone 24 working days here, beavers. I do apologise, but yous are all gonna end up starving to death if we don't. So can you what are yous doing, you lunatics? Alright, do we have any other builds at all that take materials that aren't paused? No. Fan-bloody-tastic. Pick those up, beavers. Oh, and yous have all passed out anyway. Peeps, this is gonna be the most stressful first cycle I've had in Timberborn, like. And for these years that have seen me last couple of seasons, well, nah. Beavers! What the bloomin' egg, maximum priority, get your asses in there! Oh, yeah. As I was saying, For those of you that have seen me past couple of seasons now, that I've had some bloody skitey first cycles, and yet this is still bloody heckers. How we haven't beavers cork it yet of hunger. We need one more plank in here. Alright, come on beavers, need more dodgy clock offs. I want to see the last plank get very slowly banged into there. And then there be some beavers getting some schnozberries off these bushes and feeding our entire charcoal emberpelt colony here. Look at the rush of beavers coming out to get all of these bloody schnozberries. And then next, beavers, I want you to chop down every single one of those oaks back there. No mercy. Chomp them all. And if we're going full no mercy, we should probably have a bit of a teeth grindstone for our beavers here. Alright now beavers, these inventor huts are your next maximum priority job. Then I want you to get onto getting this big old farmhouse in. And after that, I want you to get your hooses in. Just the regular old hoos and stack, thank you very much, Lee. Oh, and look what I've just noticed. After pausing all of these bad lads, we have got 0.0 days remaining until the bloody end of episode. Well, in that case, I hope you've enjoyed this manic episode of Ember Creek. Be keen for the next one where we may or may not cork it completely. And we are most certainly going to have some upset Emberpelts. But anywho, enough waffling. Toodle. Beep.